Fred was one of the most successful channels of early YouTube. Created by the teenager Lucas Cruikshank in 2006, the Fred series was a collection of videos portraying a small, high-pitched fictional child called Fred as he ranted about his life. Most of us now experience a bit of second-hand embarrassment when thinking about these old videos, but they do represent the early days of YouTube and what it used to be. Around this time, in the still alive but also kind of dying world of television, Nickelodeon had their own successful series by the name of iCarly. The series portrayed a teenage girl named Carly, played by already popular Nick actress Miranda Cosgrove, fresh off creator Dan Schneider's Drake and Josh, and her friend Sam hosting a popular fictional web show called iCarly with the help of their tech-savvy friend Freddie. iCarly was a pretty big hit for the network, with weird episode plots, ridiculous characters, and oddly, a lot of feet for some reason. But being a TV show about a fictional web show, the creators needed a way to connect the show to the ever-growing YouTube popularity. And their way of doing that was getting the most popular YouTuber at that time.
I got home one day and my mom told me she had a voicemail from Dan Schneider, the creator of iCarly. This guy who created all these shows that Love wants me to be on one of his shows. I met with him in LA and he was like, you should be on iCarly.
I think a lot of you watching are thinking about how much of a bad idea this is. A major TV corporation trying to gain viewership by getting the most popular YouTuber at the time seems extremely out of touch and a recipe for disaster. Just look at how Nick used Fred in the future. Just awful movie after awful movie and an awful TV show. But I actually think Nick's first use of Fred, in this iCarly episode, has more value than you might expect. The episode starts with Carly and Sam featuring Fred's video, which has been edited to make it appropriate for kids' TV, as Carly and Sam express how funny they think Fred is. Their cameraman Freddie jumps in and expresses how he disagrees. Freddie doesn't find Fred funny. The gang doesn't expect much from this expression of opinion, until Fred makes an announcement of his own. Fred is cancelled. Oh no, whatever will we do? Freddie and the rest of the gang get harassed by fans of Fred, mad that Freddie caused Fred's cancellation. So after some intense stalking and harassment, the group decides it's time to meet up with the creator of Fred in his treehouse in Idaho. Once there, they meet him, and Freddie asks Fred, God, this is confusing, to apologize, and he's forced to do so. However, it's revealed that the anger was never really real. It was all his plan to make iCarly and Fred get more attention, essentially creating fake drama for views. See, I get how bad this can seem. It's a bunch of TV scriptwriters portraying a YouTuber as some sort of evil mastermind manipulating his fans for views. But it's kind of accurate, and surprisingly ahead of its time. Don't get me wrong, internet drama has existed for a long time, but in recent years, the term drama has taken on a bigger meaning, hasn't it? Online fights, real fights, legal issues, morally questionable behavior, allegations. All of these can be applied to certain content creators on this very site in recent years. And no matter how awful it might get, you always have to look back and question, is what I'm seeing real? In an age of misinformation spreading, skepticism and speculation of what is being presented to us is important. You can't always trust content creators. Except for me. You can always trust me. But I think that's what this episode is trying to prepare kids for. This episode actually does have value in teaching kids a lesson. Kids who watched this episode in 2009 might have grown up to be teens in the 2010s who, because they saw this episode, learn not to trust everything they see online. Even as we grow up, what we see on TV has a lasting impression on us. So yeah, it's definitely far from perfect, but this TV internet crossover episode of a once running popular kids' TV show, surprisingly, has something important to say. Going back to the episode itself, the iCarly gang invites Lucas to their show, proving to everyone that their feud is over. So, yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for watching. And remember,
you can always trust me.